wobbly camera, I think, at the start of that. Oi, oi, hello and welcome to another video. This time, it is Ante-Post bet number 2, numero duo. I was going to say numero uno, but that's obviously 1, isn't it? So last time I did this, I put up Cheltenham for the Gold Cup. I guess potentially this is a nice little stamp to review it. I may have done so previously somewhere, but I do the written column for GG. There will be a link to that in the description for the Ante-Post book. You can have a look and read through there. That gives my thoughts in there. It is quite good to have a look at that, I think. So you can read that stuff in there. But for the purpose of like this bet and to review the the Jerry Colomi one, he obviously got beat, didn't he? But he was so badly beat that, you know, and it was so early on in the race, you'd suggest there might be something amiss. Gordon Elliott has said since that there was potentially a couple of things that have come to light. So it's still all roads to the Savills chase in December, where he got slammed by Galopin Des Champs last year. But of course, I made the case in the video that I think he ran quite well in the Gold Cup, that you could potentially give him a chance. So he did drift a bit after that champion chase. I'm already obviously on because of that video. But I still don't think I'll be putting people off of betting him. But again, the purpose of these are to tell you what I've done, not to say what you should do. So please do use these and all those other videos that are out there. There's so much good content out by lots of people. There's loads of good Ante-Post series that are out there. And it's just worth listening to people's opinions, because that's all these things ultimately are, aren't they? It's someone having a platform to be able to say to you, this is what I'm doing if you're interested. Doesn't mean you've got to do any of it. But let's not waffle too much in there. We've got Cheltenham coming up this weekend. The November meeting is an absolute banger year after year. We've got Navan this weekend, which is good racing too. I know there's good ground about, so who knows, it might affect the depth of the races, but it really won't for Cheltenham. There's lots of good opportunities for horses to do well there, and there's lots of good horses that have been running so far this season on similar ground that have now got a chance to showcase their ability. With that said, I did a November Trendy video with GG on Sunday, so I'm sure plenty of you already are subscribed to the GG channel, but go check their stuff out and make sure you're subscribed to their channel. That's quite good because it's more nostalgic about some previous winners, but gives you a few, I don't know, friendly reminders of stuff that's coming up for the weekend, but gets the heart pumping, gets the blood flowing, gets us excited for it. And then also, in terms of a preview for this weekend, we'll be doing the weekend watch on Thursday, so that will cover Saturday's ITV races, but I've started the daily tipping column. I say daily, it's Thursdays to Sunday if I can find something, with Which Bookie, another like GG type site where they're doing comparisons of different bookie offers. On that site as well, they do have a YouTube channel that has pretty much been dormant for the last 18 months. I have spoken to them and I'm going to share some of my stuff with them on their channel. And then I'll be doing stuff and collaborating with Will Smith, who has been a Which Bookie tipster for a long time. The first time I've actually spoken to him when we do the recording, but seems like a nice bloke. I've looked at lots of his stuff in the past. I've listened to him on William Hill Radio quite a few times as well. So excited about that. But the reason I'm bringing that up in here is that if you want to see that preview, it'll be uploaded on Thursday evening. We'll be covering Fridays and Saturdays for definite, because we've got all of the declarations in by then. And then Sunday, we won't have the final decks, but we'll give you early thoughts on that. So that's going to be, I don't know how long the video will be. You know, I like to waffle, as you can see in this video, but it's going to be a good in-depth, and it's going to be all Cheltenham November meeting focus. So between the two of us, hopefully me and Will can bang out some winners. The reason I'm bringing that up now is it gives you a little bit of notice, because you will be able to find out. I'll share it on the channel and I'll share it on Twitter, etc. But I'll put a link in the description of this video to Which Bookie's YouTube channel. If you ever in the past have ever felt like you want to give me a little pat on the back or say thank you for anything I've ever done, please just go and subscribe to the Which Bookie YouTube channel. Helps those guys, as you'll all know within these types of things, once you reach over 1,000 subscribers, it then opens the window to stuff. Got to get a good amount of views over on that channel as well. They'll need quite a few hours of that stuff in there. But the stepping stone will be, look, if you guys could show me a little bit of support and go and subscribe to their channel, and then some of those previews that will be going out, you'll get notified. You won't need me to remind you where they are. But yeah, that's going to be good and exciting. I'm looking forward to that. So there's a few that have been planned out from now until Cheltenham. But still, the other meetings that I will be doing previews on my channel on here. So yeah, waffle over. Bet number 2, Salvatore Mundi for the Supreme. Job done. 12-1 currently. Top price with Ladbrokes, Betfred and Coral. Now, I was tempted to go to my local Ladbrokes and have a look on their machines to see if the prices were available there, because a lot of people might say, oh, I haven't got an account or I can't do things. I haven't gone and done that. If anyone does know that, then drop a comment below. Or if I go to the supermarket later this afternoon, I will do on a bike ride with the boy. Can't do it while I've got in, but I'll see if I can pop in there and find out if they're available, and I'll put it in the comments. But for going forward, I'll find that stuff out. But look, 12-1 is the top price. He is as low as 8-1 in lots of places. I don't think many of you will potentially need to be told much about this horse, but you remember a few years back, Ante-Post ran behind Vauban a few times, was sort of hyped up as the horse. I think even David Casey said it at previews. He's like next year's Supreme winner. They kept his maiden status, didn't they? But then he was sold to a syndicate. I think it might have even been a betting syndicate. Something to do with Hollywood Bets, I think it was. Anyway, that's by the by. Was sort of sold to another syndicate. That tempered enthusiasm. The yard had Facile Vega as well. Obviously, that year they both got beat by Marine Nationale. But all that said, even Ante-Post ended up as a 4-1 poke in a Supreme Novices hurdle, with all the water that went under the bridge and with all that he did the season before. Now, Salvatore Mundi is owned by the Donnellys. They have, obviously, Sergino as well. They bought the two of these out of the same race. He already got his maiden tag sat there because he only had that one run in France where he was behind Sergino, and then had the one run for Willie Mullins in the Triumph. Sporting a hood, still wearing the tongue tie. So a couple of those things there could be a little bit of a worry or a potential niggle concern. But look, that looked like a horse that was being saved for this year to be a Supreme type. Obviously came out at Tipperary and bolted up, and it's very difficult to be able to judge that type of stuff when they beat trees, but slammed them like miles, 62 lengths I think it was, and actually got an RPR of 135. So look, the RPRs can potentially be misleading in those big, wide margin victories. But he got a 130 for his run in the Triumph Hurdle as well. I think it was 110 in France. You can tweak them about a bit because of the weighting and stuff. But just to put it into perspective, Slade Steel that won the Supreme last year did 1-2-4, I think, first time up, first time winning a maiden hurdle, and then Marine Nationale did 1-2-5. So that was both their first runs over hurdles, and you would argue that Salvatore Mundi's had his third in doing what he did, but still 135 as an RPR potentially for like his first maiden win is class. Now, the depth in this division, Romeo Coolio's been out and beaten trees as well. He got a 120 RPR that did the job. We learnt that he can jump. He looks a bit of a tank. I don't know where you would sit him in terms of distance, but I would just say at this moment, what Salvatore Mundi did and what Romeo Coolio did, I would say that Salvatore Mundi's a better horse than him. And that's not necessarily an outlandish thing to say, but we're basing it off of something quite small. I just think he gave me a bit more of that wow sort of Supreme-y type thing. But again, I'm talking about a horse that's relatively short for a Supreme. But Redemption Day's in the betting behind as well. Like, obviously did well in bumpers, but because he was like a 40-year-old bumper horse, wasn't he? So look, I'm lukewarm on him. There obviously is further depth behind there, but Willie Mullins in his stable tour talked about this horse, saying that, and jokingly about another run for a county, talked about the fact that he was head towards the head of the market in the Supreme. Instead, he'll go down that route. But obviously, who knows at this stage? It could be a Gallagher's horse. That is true, isn't it? Of every year, even himself, he doesn't definitely know. And why would you commit this far out? You're only setting yourself up to fail, aren't you? But he did cite the Gallagher's for Jasmine DeVoe that won the champion bumper. And again, things can change, lots of water to go under the bridge, but that would bring me more confidence in saying that Salvatore Mundi is going to be the Supreme horse, unless anything happens and then he needs to go somewhere else. But obviously, as the season goes on, if there's loads of aeroplane 2-milers, you might dodge that race and go somewhere else. We've seen very good horses like your Ballyburn and your Fulheen that go and dot up in a Gallagher's or Ballymore or whatever it was at the time. And you look at those and you think you probably could have won a Supreme if for like Fulheen, Valtor wasn't there, and for Ballyburn, Slade Steel was there, but you don't know. Ballyburn could have done both of them, but I digress. They're different types of horses. They were both 6-year-olds, they're both ex-pointers. Impere Pass is the most similar one. Flat French horse, though, that went and ran in a Gallagher's at 5. But again, that was the year that with the Facile Vega and S.A. Thompson stuff in there. So look, they've got their pecking order of where they're going to sit. As far as I'm concerned, from the comments and the vibes I'm getting, is that Salvatore Mundi is Supreme bound as far as we know at this point. 12-1 top price feels good. They're going to go Royal Bond with him next time. He'll probably clash with Romeo Coolio. I think he's a better horse than him. If he does beat him, he's going to be 3-4-1 for a Supreme. If he doesn't and still runs with credit, we saw that last year, Slade Steel and Ballybone locking like horns throughout the season. I still don't think we're sat on a bad ticket. It's not completely and utterly gone with and done. So I'm happy to do that. Look, I know plenty of you potentially will have been on at bigger prices. I think up until September, you could get 25-1 top price with Bet365. But I'm doing these as they stand in time now. I don't want to now say, well, I'm not betting him at 12s because I couldn't get on at 25s. I want to leave it as it is. Like this moment in time, for any of you that are starting to build up your books, I would suggest that Salvatore Mundi needs to get in there for the Supreme. So let me know in the comments below what you think about this particular selection. I'll share up on the screen now, last minute a bit of it, but I've had 40 quid win on him at 12s with Coral myself. So to show you that I actually put my money where my mouth is. And yeah, we'll be back soon with more content and more of these Ante-Post bets. But as I say, link in the description. Make sure you go and just subscribe to Which Bookie's YouTube channel. And then you'll be notified, obviously, as soon as we upload that video on Thursday. It's going to be Thursday evening, covering all 3 days of the November meeting. And that should be good. So yeah, thank you for your support, guys. I'll see you again very soon.